here, we'll begin with questions. If you have a question, please raise your hand. And Susie, you can go ahead.
Hi, Laura. Second time facing Louisville. It's obviously going to look a little bit different this game, but seemed like the team struggled a little bit in the first half in the first match against Louisville, and I'm wondering just what did the team learn from that you're taking into this game?
I think we have to start quickly. I think it's been something that when we do that, we do well. I think also the fact that we're in a 3-game week and they aren't, I think also we have to start the game quickly is important too. I think obviously different type of game, different personnel, but I just always think when we start strong and quick in games, it always sets the tone for us.
Thanks, Susie. And then Ayush, go ahead.
Hi, Laura. Thank you for taking my question. Hopefully it was a great week of practice. Savannah DeMello obviously getting called up to the World Cup squad. How do you game plan for a Savannah DeMello racing Louisville team versus one where she's not there?
No, differently, really, honestly. I think they're good in transition with and without her. I think she obviously has individual ability that isn't necessarily tactical, so it doesn't really change the way that we approach the game. Honestly, I think it would be foolish to do that, especially considering we're missing the amount of players we're missing too. So honestly, not tremendously different.
Thanks, Ayush. And then Stephen, go ahead.
Hi, Laura. I wanted to ask, obviously some of the national team replacement players that you signed have been training with the team for some time, and a couple are just coming in, and then you've got like Phoebe back just now, and I believe Jimena's coming back starting next week. So I wonder if you could talk a little bit about kind of integrating the new faces and preparing to have some new lineup combinations kind of coming out for this game.
Yeah, everyone who will be involved tomorrow has been training with us for a long time, so we know exactly what they know exactly what is expected and what needs to happen for the game. So I think that's been a really good thing that we've done this year is get ourselves in a position where we can have these players that come in and can fit straight into the roster. We showed that on Wednesday in Portland, and it's another opportunity for them to show that against Louisville tomorrow.
Thanks, Stephen. And then Ayush, go ahead.
Hi, Laura. One more. Because you're coming on a 3-game week and dealing with fatigue, do you look at this game as in a phased approach, as in maybe in the first half or the first 30 minutes you're going to sit deep, understand, let the other team play themselves out, and then go for the win in the second half, or it's not any different than a normal game?
I don't think it's tactically that way. I think the way that we pick the team is important, that we're not able to probably get 90-minute performances out of people that did 90 minutes on Wednesday. So we've got to be mindful of that. We've got to be mindful of we need to start the game strong and end the game strong. So I think 3-game weeks provide you with that question of like, what are we going to do to make sure that we can start strong and end strong? And I think the depth of our roster obviously comes into play with that.
Thanks, Ayush. And then Susie.
Yeah, Laura, you've mentioned a couple of times that obviously it's really
Susie, it's kind of cutting out for you.
about how is her development going and what are your expectations for her, especially during this break without the World Cup players. I think it may be on your end. We couldn't hear Laura super well in the last answer.
Who are you talking about, Susie?
You all are cutting up quite a bit. I was asking, you mentioned before that Luvani is obviously on a development path, and it's definitely hard to work your way in this league. Wondering just what her development has been like and what your expectations are for her with the World Cup players during this break.
Yeah, I think it's the same as it's been the whole time. I think she is developing. I think she's used to the style and the pace of the game now. And now I think it's about her showing her ability in training. And then if you show your ability in training, then you get an opportunity to play in games. It's just a challenge. I think this is a challenging league, right? I think it's a really high level, and even with players not being here, the level doesn't drop dramatically. It's still a super high level league. So I think she understands that. I think that our job is to continue to help her develop. And I hope that we can see some stuff out of her this summer that elevates her in that progression.
All right.
Just one more follow-up for me. We got to see Phoebe obviously earn her first minutes in the Challenge Cup, and she came in the midfield. And I'm wondering if that was mostly just to get her minutes, or if that's a place that you're looking at her in the future, or if you don't want to say.
No, it totally was to get her minutes. Wasn't planned, honestly. We knew we had to get Ola off, and with Nikki being suspended and Jess not quite ready yet, we knew we needed to try and get somebody in there who had a defensive mindset, and the plan was for her to come on for Sam, but we had to change that in the middle of the game. So I think she can do it. It's not a huge master plan to put it there.
All right. Thanks, Susie. That'll be it for questions. We'll have Phoebe joining us soon. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.